Abraham Lincoln Traditional Families, we are so excited to introduce PBIS to you. PBIS stands for Positive Behavior Interventions and Supports. And in this video, we're going to go through what that is, what it is not, how we created it here at Abraham Lincoln, and then what the expectations are in the different areas of school. PBIS is simply a philosophy under which we built a school-wide system of expectations specifically for ALTS. It is a system-wide set of expectations, meaning from K to 8, we have specific expectations and behaviors that we've defined for every student on our campus. It is not the only set of expectations in our school. Each teacher still has the autonomy to set expectations in their classroom. It is a way for looking for and celebrating the positive behaviors that we see. And it is not a system that ignores misbehaviors or refuses consequences. PBIS is a balanced system of celebrating the positive and correcting the negative. That is exactly what we want at our school. We want to be celebrating the great behaviors that we see while addressing the behaviors that we need corrected. It is a consistent accountability system for all students and staff. From K to 8, there's consistency in what we're doing and how we're doing it. But it will not take away from a teacher's ability to have his or her own classroom expectations and accountability methods. So here's what that means. This is the umbrella under which teachers can build their specific procedures and expectations in their classroom. So why did we do this? First and foremost is student safety. We want all of our students to feel safe and respected on our campus. They all have the right to an uninterrupted learning environment. They have the right to learn in a classroom that is peaceful and that is organized and that has everything a child needs to be able to focus on their learning. And we needed consistent expectations and common language. We need to be able to be outside, and if an 8th grade teacher sees a kindergartner who's a little out of control, they can simply ask that kindergartner where they're going, what they're doing, are they walking with a purpose? And that kindergartner will know exactly what they're talking about. They will also know that that adult is a part of our campus because they recognize the language and they know the expectations. So how did we do this? This is not a system that we introduced to our staff and said, do you like it or not? This is a system that our staff learned about and created specifically for Abraham Lincoln. So we looked at data and we looked at where our behaviors were occurring, and we determined from that what locations would benefit from having those consistent expectations and the consistent language. We also looked through a series of meetings. We determined what our 3 basic expectations were going to be, and those are to be respectful, be responsible, and be safe. And then through another series of meetings, we determined what those behaviors would look like that define the expectations for each area on campus. From there, our staff really had to determine how are we going to reinforce good behavior and how are we going to intervene for misbehavior. So we included a behavior matrix, a Patriot card for all grade levels, and a list of interventions that should be attempted with all students when behaviors occur. We also had lesson plans that were created. They're to be used in every single class to teach the expectations and behaviors to every student. We actually have a series of videos that our students will watch from kindergarten all the way to 8th grade. That is a common way of making sure every student hears the same message. And then the teachers have lesson plans that will assist them in going out and teaching the video and giving examples from the video in real life so students know what to do. Throughout the year, we shared information with our PAC and our guild in order to gain feedback and keep them informed. And we had a parent on our committee to help us see things from a parent's point of view. We also pulled together student focus groups because we wanted their perspective and their feedback on what we were doing. And we ensured that every staff member would have the opportunity to be included in all the decisions regarding this particular program. So let's delve into it. The areas of campus that we found that needed some common expectations are our classrooms, restrooms, walkways and hallways, playground, and cafeteria. And under each of our expectations of respectful, responsible, and safe, we defined behaviors to help students understand what it looks like to be respectful, responsible, and safe in those particular areas. Let's take a look at the classroom first. ALTS patriots in the classroom are going to honor the speaker. That means when someone is speaking, they are listening. They're going to listen and follow directions the first time, and they're going to be kind in words and actions. You will actually see that last behavior in several areas of our campus. Being kind in words and actions has been explained to our students, and that they don't have to agree with everyone, but there's no reason to be insulting or mean to someone simply because you don't agree with them. You can disagree with respect. Being responsible in the classroom means following classroom expectations, doing your best. You may not know it now, but you will know it. And that's what our students have been told. Yet is a great word. You need to believe in that power of yet. You don't know it yet. You can't do it yet. But you keep doing your best and you will get there. And be an active learner. Active learners listen. They ask questions. They participate. And then be safe. Use materials appropriately, and we talk about the use of different materials like scissors, pencils, paper, books. Maintaining a safe environment in the classroom means watching where your things belong, means watching where your feet are going so that you're not sticking your foot out in the aisle and accidentally tripping anybody. And then we're introducing a new word to our students, and it's going to be on every single set of expectations, and that word is kaifudi. And it is an acronym. It means keep your hands, feet, and other objects to yourself. So rather than a teacher having to say all the time, keep your hands to yourself, they're simply going to say kaifudi, and a student will know what that means. In our restrooms, being respectful means using quiet voices, honoring the privacy of others, going quickly and returning promptly. So when you leave the classroom, you go straight to the restroom, straight back to the classroom. Being responsible means when you're in the restroom, you're going to flush, wash, dry, goodbye. Flush that toilet, wash your hands, dry your hands, and leave. And you're going to keep it clean. When we had our focus groups for students, one of the biggest things they said about the restroom is they want a clean restroom. And they were really wanting their classmates and their schoolmates to understand that clean restrooms are important. And we could not agree more. And then being safe. Report any unsafe conditions in the restroom. If someone has spilled water on the floor, if they have drawn on the walls, let a teacher know immediately. And then, of course, there's our fun word again, kaifudi. In the walkways and hallways, we're asking students to use quiet voices because there are classes going on when they're walking around campus. Also, with being respectful is listening and follow the directions the first time, even if that direction's not coming from your teacher, but from a different teacher. And use appropriate language. We've explained to our students that not every word you're allowed to say at home, you can say at school. And so we're using school appropriate language at all times while on our campus. And you're going to be responsible. That is walking with a purpose. If you have been sent to the nurse's office, you go straight there and straight back to your classroom. If you are walking to another classroom to deliver something for your teacher, straight there, straight back. You don't take the long way around. Keep it clean. We don't drop trash on our campus. We keep our campus clean because we have pride in our campus and how it looks. And then be mindful of your surroundings. We talk a little bit about the fact that, especially if you're an older grade student and your kindergarten class is walking past you, don't just bust through that line. Be respectful. Let them walk past, and then you can continue walking. And then be safe. Use walking feet when you're on campus, and always remember kaifudi. Keep those hands, feet, and other objects to yourself. In our cafeteria, we want to be respectful using quiet voices. You're probably seeing a pattern here. Listening and following directions the first time, and being kind in words and actions. Under being responsible, we have a new way of dismissing from the cafeteria. It's consistent for all grade levels. They're going to stand up, clean up, and then be dismissed. Your lunch, your food, your tummy. In other words, if you bring something from home, don't share it with other students. You don't know what those students are allergic to. So let's keep our food being our food. And then eat first, talk second. Lunchtime is one of the only times our students have to talk to each other and really have just some freedom from the quiet of the classroom. And we want them to experience that and to enjoy that. But we also want them to eat their lunch because it's important that they get food for that brain. So we want them to eat first and talk second. It does not mean they have to be absolutely silent while they eat. We just want them to focus on that first. And then be safe. If there's any spills, report those. Make sure you're keeping the cafeteria clean, and of course, following kaifudi. The last location is our playground. Under be respectful, we want them to listen and follow directions the first time, be kind in words and actions, and use school-appropriate language. Under responsible, we want them to take ownership of actions. What we tell our kids is, you did it, you own it. Be honest. Let us know what happened. Use the equipment appropriately, and clean up and line up when signaled. And then be safe. Play for fun. We love to have our kids playing soccer and basketball and throwing the football around, but our kids sometimes get a little too competitive. Remember that no one's walking off the playground with a trophy. No one's walking off the playground with a medal. You are out there to have a good time with each other, so play for fun. Respect the rules of the game. That's also been something we've talked a lot about with our kids last year, probably we'll talk about this year. When you're playing soccer or playing anything, respect the rules of the game. And then kaifuti. It's important to have expectations and behaviors, but along with those, you have to have some reinforcement. So we are talking with our staff about the importance of reinforcing the behavior. One of the ways we're doing this is giving a Patriot Praise ticket. When that ticket is given, it's not the ticket that matters. It's the words that are used that matters. So teachers and staff are being trained to recognize the behavior that a student has had that was positive. So if I were to give a ticket to a student, I might say, thank you for being respectful and walking in the hallway. Or thank you for being responsible by waiting for that class to pass before you walked across the sidewalk. Whatever the action is, we're reinforcing the behavior that we're seeing so that students know that we appreciate seeing that positive behavior. Students cannot ask for Patriot Praise tickets. Students earn them simply by doing what they should be doing. These tickets cannot be used as a bribe, so you'll never hear a teacher or a staff member tell a student, if you will do this, I'll give you a Patriot Praise ticket. That's not the way they're used. This is simply recognition for behavior that's already there. If we see behavior that needs some intervention, our teachers are going to take these steps. And this could actually be a teacher or a staff member. Step 1 is a verbal warning, and you're going to provide an intervention for that student. So if a student is talking in class, then the teacher is simply going to redirect that behavior, or they might move the child to a different seat, but they're going to provide that child with an intervention. They're going to do one more thing other than just saying, you will stop talking. Step 2 is a visual warning. This is going to look a little different in different classrooms. Depends on the grade level, and it depends on what that teacher is comfortable doing. So a visual warning is something private with the student. It's not going to be a public display, but in teachers whose classrooms have clip down charts, they might have the child clip down, they might place a card on the desk, they might have some other form of visual reminder, but that student was going to be reminded the behavior that they're seeing cannot continue, and they're going to provide an intervention. Step 1 and Step 2 aren't going to happen right after each other because sometimes it takes a moment for a child to get reset and be ready to learn again. If that child's behavior continues, then Step 3 is going to be completing what's called a minor incident report. That is basically going to be a mark on their Patriot card. Their teacher is going to let the student know that they're writing them up, and beside the behavior that leads to the punch, they're going to write what interventions that they attempted. This way, when we have to call you at some point, which hopefully we never will, but if we have to call you about a behavior, we're able to tell you this is the behavior that was seen, these were the interventions that were tried, and these are the dates everything was tried on. This gives you some full information about how your kids are doing and what they're doing in school, but it also enables us to have a nice, cohesive way of working with our kids to ensure that we have what we set out to have, which is a safe classroom where no one's learning is being interrupted. We look forward to seeing this entire program put into place. There's a lot more to it. We do have some flyers and information for you in the front office if you're interested. Thank you so much for listening to this presentation. Have a great day.